Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a watering routine. Basically going around and showing you how I water all my plants. So let's go. So I use two different types of fertilizers. I use this one for just my normal plants, like all my normal house plants. And then I use the blooming one for my blooming house plants, like my African violets and stuff like that. And the first plants I'm going to start off by watering is my calathea. Has a little bit of, I just switched rooms, so we drilled holes up there and it got on this guy, so I have to clean them. My Hoya Zintel are very thirsty. And then my regret cactus. So basically what I do when I water, I just make sure. You did not drink that. So basically when I water my plants, I just make sure like they get a thorough watering. And I like to let the pots in check. So I think the calathea is good, but everything else could use a good watering. So on these Hoyas, I'm just going to use normal fertilizer. And just let it drain through the bottom. And that is that window. So the next set of plants I'm going to show you is my Moonlight Caladium. It just put out this beautiful leaf. This was its last leaf, and it just put out that leaf and this leaf, and it's working on another one. Some succulents, which don't need water. My string of pearls, which doesn't need water. And my cactus, which I'm just going to give a little bit of water. So I'm just going to start by watering these guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera set up. Whenever I water cactus, I make sure I give them a really thorough watering. That's what I'm doing here. And my caladium can use a little bit of water. And that got a little bit. And then does my dog? Nope. Oh, my dog took something. And then next I have my rubber tree, my Brazil, and my other caladium. And those guys don't need it except for just my caladium. So I'm gonna water him. And my Photonia is good. So let's move on to my big plant stand. So on my big one, I have a lot of varieties of plants. Some that bloom, some that don't. So the ones that bloom, I'm going to be using that blue glass over there. The ones that don't, I'm going to be using this. For the ones that do, I'm going to be using that. And let's just water. And when I water these guys, I just like I make it go all the way through the bottom of the pot. Like overflowing, just to make sure I get enough water in each one. Alright, and I'm gonna water some of my Hoya now. Oh, one of my Hoyas is growing new leaves. That's very exciting. I'm gonna grab some of my plastic saucers. Yeah, thought that was dripping. Alright. And whenever I water, I just like to move all my plants around. Just so I can make sure each one gets enough. I think that's variegation on that leaf, or is it a bug? Alright, I think that is a pest. So that's when I go in with my neem oil. Spray all the plants down that was around it. I usually like to spray neem oil as a preventative anyway, but I can show you what I do. As you can see, if you look on this leaf, pests. can kind of see them. I'm trying to show you. Don't know if you can see them very well. Yep, you see the little white bugs. I think those are little baby mealies. So I sprayed everything down on this plant shelf, and I'm gonna probably wipe it all down. So the next plant I'm gonna water is my fern, because my rabbitfoot fern, because it's very thirsty. I'm just gonna set it in here and let it. It's already soaking up some water. I'm gonna let it soak up some water, and I'm moving down to the next shelf. So the next shelf is where I have more of my blooming plants. Like I have my Hoya, I have my African violets, I have another Hoya, and I have an orchid cactus, and that's about it. So the rest of these plants I'm gonna water with just normal, and I think this plant's dead, but I'm just keeping it. I don't know why, but I just am. So I'm gonna go in with the non-blooming plant food. And just what I know, it's winter time, but all my plants are still growing. None of them have went into dormancy. So this one I haven't watered in a while, so I'm gonna really deeply water it. I mean, it could be dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But not that one. I'm gonna water my little Aglaonema back there. Give him a good water. All right, and I'll get my blooming houseplant food. Okay, so now I have my blooming houseplant food. And this is the same brand. It's a Miracle-Gro blooming houseplant food. And I really do like it. But I just watered this Hoya and I forgot. So this could get any. I'm definitely going to be using on my African violet. All right. And I'm going to get my Hoya out. My succulent does not need any water. I like never water them. Alright. Now I'm gonna water my, this is an orchid cactus propagation. It's doing awesome. That is about to overflow everywhere. Let me get a little catch something. Thing must have been very thirsty because I just poured everywhere. Great. And the only thing I have to do clean up with is tissues. So you know we're gonna use what I got and clean it up with tissues. Hopefully my dog does not try to eat my tissues. I'm trying to clean up with. It will. Alright. I'm going to move on to this little Hoya. Water him. Nope, get out of there. Alright, and that is that shelf done. I'm gonna put my orchid cactus back up here. And this is blooming houseplant food, so I'm gonna stick it in this Hoya. I don't like to waste the food. Alright, now we're gonna move to the next shelf. Alright, and this is my next shelf. I have a couple blooming houseplants like Hoya. Actually, I think I just have one. As you can see, she's trying to sniff around and see what just happened. And yeah, so the rest of it I'm just gonna water with normal house. Right, and now that I watered all of these guys, except for the one in there, because I think I overwatered it last time. I watered my Scindapsus. As you can see, it's very curly. My Hoyas. This one's, I'm gonna let it bottom water. My Alocasia. This Hoya. The leaf is good. Yeah, it's heavy still. Now I'm gonna move on to over here with my Green Princess. I get Marble Queen Pothos, and then my big orchid cactus. So the orchid cactus seems a little light, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in there. Not too much, just a little bit. All right, I think that'll be good. You're good. And you're good. All right, and all these guys. Right, and then next we have this little area over here. All of these need water. Christmas cactus is good. Heartleaf philodendron is good. I believe this Hoya is good. And my Scindapsus needs some water, as you can see. And then my Aglaonema's good. And my cactuses are good. So just the Christmas cactus and the succulents. Alright, as you can see, I'm just watering these. They're succulent cactus seed. So I really don't know if they're gonna do anything. I really hope they do. Because these would be super cool to grow. I had one coming out and it just died. So yeah. And I'm out of this type of fertilizer. I'm just gonna use some of the blooming houseplant food. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? I say that, then you guys bombard my comments like, no, don't do that. All right, and then these guys are good. And this guy needs some water. All right, and with just a little bit of leftover blooming houseplant food I have, I'm just gonna pour this guy into my peace lily. And then we are. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was kind of like a short, like, simple, just like quick video, but I just wanted to get something up for you guys to watch. And thanks.